May 23rd, 2025. Dave Shapiro is today's #1 Google trend. But this isn't your typical viral sensation. What happened to this music industry powerhouse is sending shockwaves through headlines everywhere. And the reason? It's genuinely heartbreaking. Let's unravel the story together. Welcome back to Trending Today. It's Friday, May 23rd, 2025, and the music world is reeling from an immense loss. Dave Shapiro, the driving force behind some of the biggest rock and alternative acts, is at the center of today's headlines for truly tragic reasons. This isn't festival hype or album buzz. Today, the industry is mourning a visionary whose impact reached far beyond tour buses and backstage passes. We're taking a look at why his sudden passing is more than just breaking news. It could mark a turning point for the entire music scene. So, who was Dave Shapiro? At 53, he was a powerhouse music agent, co-founder of the influential Sound Talent Group, and founder of Velocity Records. He wasn't just someone who booked talent, he launched careers. Shapiro was the mastermind behind acts spanning heavy metal, hard rock, pop punk, and metalcore, discovering, shaping, and championing artists who've defined a generation. Put simply, if your playlist rocks, there's a solid chance you owe Dave a thank you, or at least a head nod. So, why is this story everywhere? In the early hours of May 22nd, Shapiro, an accomplished pilot, tragically lost his life when the 1985 Cessna Citation II jet he was piloting crashed in San Diego. This was more than a routine mishap. The accident, unfolding in dense fog after a cross-country flight, claimed 6 industry professionals, including 2 of Shapiro's Sound Talent Group team. It tore through a residential area, destroying property and igniting a fire, only intensifying the shock and impact. The loss is not just personal. It struck at the very heart of live music, right as the industry was regaining its footing. Tributes are pouring in from across the globe, not only in grief, but as recognition from those whose careers are built on his vision. That, in itself, is why today's trend is both impossible to ignore and deeply felt. Dave Shapiro was more than an agent. He was a kingmaker for modern rock. His agency's roster reads like a festival lineup. Sum 41, Pierce the Veil, I Prevail, Hanson, Silverstein, even Australia's own Northlane. But here's what truly stands out. Shapiro championed artists through tough times, co-founding the National Independent Talent Organization to help musicians survive the pandemic's roller coaster. His influence rippled through every independent venue, every startup label, every new band nervously stepping out on stage. Now, with his passing, the industry faces a leadership challenge, just when it was finding its groove again. If you're listening, music gods, timing is everything. But Shapiro's passion took flight well beyond music, literally. He was a renowned pilot and certified instructor, even founding Velocity Aviation. The tragic crash isn't just a devastating loss for music, it's also refueling airport lounge conversations about flight safety and private travel, especially as business trips and tours ramp back up. Shapiro's adventurous spirit, whether behind a soundboard or a cockpit yoke, mirrored the drive and risks that power the industry. Proof, perhaps, that when you reach for the stars, you do sometimes end up flying. With the NTSB now leading a high-profile investigation, expect plenty of headlines and analysis in the days ahead as the music community searches for answers and closure. Victim identification is still underway. The impact of this tragedy will be lasting. Sound Talent Group and Velocity Records face uncertain futures, while artists and fans mourn a foundational figure. The way music tours, talent scouting, and indie artistry move forward could change dramatically, making Shapiro's story not just a headline, but a living legacy. And that's the real story behind today's top trend. For more daily deep dives into headlines that leave a mark, keep it tuned here to Trending Today.